Hey y'all, welcome back to Roots and Refuge Farm. We're to the, oh, let me wipe you off there. We're to the time of year, my camera fogs up when I walk outside because the temperature difference between in my house where the air conditioning is now running. I resisted turning it on for a long time. I left the windows open, but it's necessary at this point, if no other reason than to keep the humidity in the house down. But when I walk outside, it's so warm out here that my camera fogs up. Y'all ready to see the transformation of this space begin? My herb and tea garden. The rest of the beds came in. We haven't put them together yet. I've got one more put together over there. Maya's going to come out here and help me. And we are going to begin laying these out where they need to go. And we're going to put up, I think, probably one of the sections of the fence. We may put up two. We can't put up too much of the fence yet because I want to be able to use equipment and helping get the soil back here to fill these. Oh, hey. Michaela's here. So I've told you guys, Jeremiah's little sister has actually bought our RV and is moving to the farm.
Sup, Mom?
Hey, baby angel. Sup, Cake?
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going.
Yeah.
We're on load number 2.
Nice. You just go in one little load at a time?
Yeah, I think that'd be the best way to do it.
For those of you who've been here for very long, do y'all remember when someone dumped 2 puppies off at our farm, like over by our storage barns? We found them and obviously we were looking for homes for them. Michaela ended up taking one of them, and her dog Lydia is like besties for the rusty with our poodle Lulu. And with Michaela moving here, you know, when Lydia needs to be outside in a yard, she'll be back here with Lulu. Hey Lydia! Lou! Oh, Bear is like, why am I in here and not out there? This is all wrong. I don't know where Lulu went. She went over to the other side to look at them. Bear is so deeply offended whenever he sees that I have my camera and he's in the backyard. He's like, this is all wrong. This is not how we do it. I need you to right this wrong right now. Doesn't happen a lot. He usually gets to come with me, but occasionally I just obviously mistreat him so much. So if you missed the earlier parts of me planning this little garden right here, I want to just go over a couple of things. Cliff's notes. We bought this property 4 years ago. When we originally planned it, our original plan was to build a house up in kind of closer to the front of the property sooner rather than later. We put this double wide back here on the back corner to live in the meantime, planning for it to eventually be like a vacation rental or a guest house or a home for some of our family. And as it turned out, our house building plans ended up being later rather than sooner. We're not even focusing on it at all right now. I found myself looking at living in this house long term. Totally happy with it. I love my home. But the only thing is that my garden is down the driveway, and mostly that's completely fine. I mean, we've got water there. I'm not gonna have an issue going to my garden regularly. I always advise people, do not put your garden out of sight and out of mind. Like, far away from your house is not a great place for your garden to be. But at this point, like, it's never out of mind for me. It's very much a habit to garden for me. Obviously, I am motivated beyond just my own desire. I also make content for my job, so I'm gonna go to the garden no matter how far away it is. But there are times it is deeply inconvenient, like when I have onions sauteing on the stove and I realize I need a handful of thyme, or when I really just want a cup of tea and I know that there's something growing out there, but it's like, I don't know that I really want to run all the way out there at night before bed in order to make my tea. So we decided to put a little herb garden right here down by our house. This decision was made in conjunction with purchasing this Costco greenhouse kit, because we were also having some issues with our big greenhouse, like not being necessarily super great at retaining heat when it's really cold outside. And so we bought this. My husband made a video over on his channel, Maya's Workshop, kind of talking about building this. I thought it would be helpful to y'all, and it would solve our issue of needing like a nursery for our little baby seedlings when it was still kind of earlier on in the winter, but we were still seed starting. So this all developed this year. And this year also happens to be where Sweet Maya has been working really hard on garden projects, and he's got a long list to tackle finishing the big garden. Hey, Benny. What's up, brother? You come out here to help us?
Sure.
And I'm kind of an idea factory, turns out.
Turns out.
And I have been known to pile extra projects on Jeremiah's already long list. So my thought was, in doing this garden, what if I did a garden that did not, you want to look at this? I'll take my camera out of it if you want to explore it. You can turn it around so you can, it's just the support for it. It's so that when the plants get big, it can support, you know. And then I got these lettuce. You can pinch it and try it. You can pull a leaf off. So my idea was to not add more to the already long to-do list, that I would plan this garden with materials that a person without carpentry skills could. Maya put the kit together for the greenhouse. He does have carpentry skills. His review was, this is something that a person without extensive carpentry skills could do. Obviously the fact that he knows how to build things aided him in doing that, but he said that it was a really well put together kit. I also decided that we would use these Birdie's beds. These are the short beds. I have a few of the tall birdies up in my other garden, and I do like the tall ones, and I think they're good for people who don't want to have to bend over as much. But I was also considering the fact that those are going to require twice as much soil to fill. So I did the short beds. I got all the same color, and I got 3 different sizes. So this is the large one. You can configure them in different ways. These are the small ones, and this is a 3x3 square. This is a 2x10. I have another 2x10, and then I got 5 medium ones. So I laid all of this out, and then we got this fencing, which I think Maya's gonna come, and we're gonna kind of start looking at this. It's this really pretty picket cedar fence, and you don't have to dig a bunch of holes. You don't have to set concrete. It comes with these posts that you just drive into the ground. And I think that this is gonna end up being a really beautiful garden. And my hope is that this can be an example of what you could do on a smaller scale, because this is probably a more realistic size for most people who are like living in a neighborhood, or if you're just growing for like a couple of people. I mean, obviously my big garden, while I think it's awesome, I mean, literally it's like my dream come true garden, I recognize that most people are not either going to need that or want to have to take care of it. So this is probably a little more along the lines of what a lot of you would realistically want to build. Oh, avocado kitty, did you find a new garden to hang out in, sweet girl? Yeah. Avocado's my garden kitty. You know, she was so aloof and did not hang out with me for a while. And then she found me in the garden and snuck up on me, and has become one of my favorite little buddies. Now, I do want to make one note while I'm talking about all this stuff for this garden that you don't have to build. Because when I'm doing projects, when we're talking about things, the cost of things often comes up. This is not a cheap way to do it. I'm just going to tell you. The beds, the kit, the fence, all of this stuff, buying things that are easy to put together costs more money. If you want to save as much money as possible, you may have to bootstrap it. That's why so much of our stuff is DIY and has been for a very long time. So unfortunately, when it comes to homestead stuff and garden stuff, in most cases, you're either gonna have to spend more time, more resourcefulness, more sweat equity, if you will, or more money. Occasionally, there is like the rare unicorn situation where you get to save money and time and sweat equity, but in my experience, that is relatively rare. But I will say, I am mindful when I am shopping for things that if I am going to spend money on convenience, that I'm not going to trade quality. So like for instance with the Birdie's beds, those metal beds, they're going to last a really, really long time. This greenhouse, I did a lot of research about this before buying it. This is cedar and it's going to last a long time, and we are doing extra measures to seal it so that it can last longer. My thing is if you're going to spend money on something, let it be something that lasts, because ultimately in the long run and that will save you. A lot of products that I see for garden beds and planters and different things like that, and just looking at them, I know that they're not going to last a really long time. A lot of wooden products that are not like sealed or waterproof materials, a lot of plastic products that are not like super high quality, and I figured it would be a good thing to show not just a garden that a person could put together without construction skills, but a garden that's going to last. Hey, I noticed that there's ants all on this. I guess let me grab I could spray them off. So I had somebody ask me recently when I mentioned having ants what I do about them. And this is a product, I've used this for quite a while now. It's called Taro. I'll find a link to this. I just get it at like Home Depot, or I order it online. I ordered this on Amazon. So this is boric acid, and it is technically boric acid. It's organic. It's not like certified organic or anything, but I do use this around my house. I use it around my garden, and I get these, which are like outdoor baits. They have the stuff for in the house that you can get, which is just like a tube of this boric acid solution, and that's cheaper than buying these. With these, you just pop this in and it makes this little house. It pours it out where the ants go in there, and basically they take this back to their colony, and they take it to their queen and it kills them. I assume you could probably make a solution with like borax and maybe some sugar to get them to get it, but I've just purchased these for a while. I'm not sure where these guys are coming from, but I see them right here, so I'm just gonna set that down. And usually when I notice that I have ants outside, I'll just set one of these by it, and usually they're gone within like a day or two. I've seen lots of other things where you can do like cornmeal and cinnamon and take one scoop from one anthill and put it in the other. I've done all those things, but I've never had them be quite as effective as this. And Jeremiah is really allergic to ants, so I try to stay on top of them whenever I see them. Did you convince somebody to let you outside? All is right in the world now? The ants are going all the way along the edge of this. So Maya already squared these stakes. He's going to start putting the fence posts in. That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good. Where'd you get this? They're gonna ask. Lowe's, okay. So because I knew we were gonna have like it's an 18-inch space between like the greenhouse and where the fence is gonna be, we put down this fabric, landscape fabric. Oh, so you just slide that on? Mm-hmm. Nice. That will not keep the weeds from growing up forever. Eventually weeds will even get through this. It'll get holes in it and stuff.
Well, for this, I've actually already decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to get, so like at the front, how I rip down that border for the porch.
Tell me what that means. I don't know what that means.
I'm speaking carpenter. The wood in the front that's holding your porch.
Yes. You cut it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ripping means like cutting it long ways.
Okay.
Like splitting it in half.
Yes, you ripped it.
Yeah, I ripped it. Okay, so I'm going to rip some more.
Okay.
And I'm going to run those. I'm going to go ahead and like, I have some scraps of this fabric stuff, and I'm going to run like up to the corners and just fix this and make this square, but then I'm going to run border around it.
Border meaning like what you did the front porch with? Okay.
Up to the fence.
Like
and then
paving
I'm use
stones.
some of those white stones and fill in around the greenhouse so it'll stop growing
Okay.
grass.
He means the white stones is this gravel we have. Well, that's good. That's a good way to use that. We had this gravel in our walkways in our front garden. I didn't really care for it, walking on it, but it would be nice.
Right, it'd just be kind of
around
an
here.
ornamental thing around the fence.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then I'm going to do the wood at the bottom because I'm actually going to, on the inside of that board, I'm going to fold that fabric up and staple it to the inside and then fill it with rocks.
So that
way it doesn't grow through
the weeds
the cracks.
Oh, that's clever. Nice. This is gonna be really pretty, don't you think? So while Maya is working on that, I'm gonna start putting together one of my medium beds. You can configure these in different ways, as I said. And there's 3 sizes and it gives you lots of different shapes. Actually, this can show you. So I'll give an illustration of what I'm trying to explain. So each size comes with the pieces to put it together. Like this is 6 sizes for this medium bed. And I'm doing 4 of these. I'm going to do this size, 6 by 3, and then one of them I'm going to do 7 by 2, next to the greenhouse. Hey Jack, what's up, man?
Nothing. I just came out here.
Nice.
Say hi.
Jackson is in finals week, and then he'll be home.
Yeah, I'm done with school. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to come back.
Yeah. Ready to be home for the summer? Yeah. Jackson being home this weekend is why I want to get this done before tomorrow, because he's trying to get some work in. He is at that stage of needing gas money, wanting extra time to work, and so he's going to fill these beds for me if I get them in place. I have a hard time getting this box open. About these beds. Now, I have used another brand of these metal beds in the past. I had several of them, and just completely honestly, the actual product itself I found to be pretty comparable. The reason why I switched brands was because I had a handful of viewers tell me that they had had some customer service issues with the previous brand. I never experienced that, but it's just important to me, if I am essentially using a product that is going to lead to other people buying that product, if I'm vouching for it, that they're having a good experience. So, and I won't go into it deeper than that. That's just, that was my reason for saying, let me try something different. These are Birdie's beds. These are sold by Epic Gardening, Kevin. They're made in Australia, which I do like that. And that may even be more important now as far as supply goes. But they're really versatile, and with these metal beds, they just last a really long time. They're very sturdy. I've had a good experience with them. And I like the fact that you can really customize a space. So in this little garden, I'm gonna have 10 beds. 3 smalls, 2 larges, and 5 mediums. And they're configured in multiple different ways to fit in this 20 by, I think, 24 planting space. And it's gonna give me quite a lot of planting space. To put these together, you have all these little bits. You have these metal panels. You have corner panels and middle panels, and as I mentioned, there are multiple configurations, and it shows you which pieces to piece together to get each configuration, and it also tells you how much soil is required for each configuration, and therefore tells you how much planting space you're getting out of each configuration. And if you end up, like I ended up with, I think, 1 or 2 pieces left over when I did my small configuration like that. You can totally use extra pieces to like Frankenstein put together your beds. That's actually what I did with some of my other ones that I had in my garden. I had combined some and ended up with extra corner pieces, and some of the little short round beds I have in my cottage garden was me just putting together extra corner pieces that I had. So you can get creative with it. These are really easy to put together. I've gotten pretty good at doing them at this point, and I don't mind doing them. My son Asher has put together most of these. Again, teenagers looking for gas money. And Asher does not have any carpentry skills at all. He doesn't even have any assembly skills, honestly. And I literally handed him the instructions. I gave him the tips I had found in putting these together. I go through, I put the pieces together, I put the hardware in, and I just don't tighten it down a lot. I just loosely tighten it and get it all together, and then I go in with the wrench and tighten it all down once it's all assembled. I gave him that tip, set him loose on it, and he put them all together, and by the time he got on the third one that he did, he had gotten pretty quick at it. And I think that's a pretty good testament for people who maybe want to put together a raised bed garden and you don't even own tools, or maybe you're at a rental. If you want to put together a couple of beds, but you know you're going to have to take them apart when you move, you can totally take these apart. We have moved them in the big garden by just literally carefully slipping them off of the soil that they're in. I think that this is a good product to know about for a lot of the viewers that I hear from. Like their set of circumstances, I think this could serve a lot of people. And I will link them. And I hope y'all know if I'm telling you about a product that I'm working with at all, like for affiliate marketing, I contact affiliate marketing people after I have already tried their product for myself that I've bought, because I'm not gonna tell you to buy something if I wouldn't buy it myself. All right, so it's getting kind of dark. What I'll do on these is I put the piece in the top. You've got like this screw or bolt or whatever and this washer. And you put it in so that the flat part of the screw is on the outside. And I do the top one first, and then I do the bottom one. And I'm just loosely putting them together. I'm not trying to wrench them down or anything, make them super tight. Because if I do something wrong, I want to be able to easily undo it. And then this is just faster. But when I do the top and the bottom, it lines up the rest of them, so I can go through really quick and put them in. Alright, so that took me like 5 minutes to put this one side together. And it's loose, but it's together. We're running out of lights, Howards.
Aren't we always?
That's the truth.
Story of our lives. Getting these dimensions to fit exactly with what we just randomly chose.
We didn't choose it. You called me from the place and told me how wide it was. We didn't choose that. We planned this after you got the fence. We did it in those increments. If you want to act like this happened by chance, you can.
This
but
feels like an accident.
we measured this when you got home. Do you not remember? Jeremiah's over here awing at his carpentry genius because his square is perfect and his
I knew the
post
square was perfect. That was never in question. It was, were these fences going to line up perfectly?
We planned it on the Seed Time app with these dimensions.
I trust you. I believe you.
Your bad memory leads to a lot of moments that you're like,
Eureka!
y'all, it's getting dark out here. I'm going to say goodnight to you guys for right now, but I'm going to come out here in the morning and get some more progress done on this and get it set up, because I really want to utilize Jackson's eagerness to work. And here's Toby. Toby likes to show up right at the end of the video so he can be able to sign off. He really likes that. Plus, usually when we've been gone for long enough that I've been like working the garden or working on a video, after a while Toby's the one who starts wondering what's up, if he's missing out, or where's mom is. You ready to say goodnight?
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. We bless you. Until next time.